can you really rely on a player like that to be a captain when you don't know when he's going to be around, if he's going to do something silly, and whether you can even rely on him?
Well, I think it depends what you're looking for from your captain, and there's different types of captain. There's vocal captains, there's captains that lead by example. But when you are a top international player, which he is, when you're a World Cup winner, which he is, the ability and the quality is clearly there. So therefore you need him on the park. I do think that the modern game does invite sendings off considerably more easily than when Danny used to play, and certainly when I used to play as well. I never got sent off in my career. Some people would say that was because I maybe wasn't aggressive enough at times, but I was always available. You need your best players available, Danny. And personally, I think that Romero is agitating to get a move away from Tottenham. And even if that's what he wants, Danny, I don't think he should be doing it in the way he is doing it. I'm not saying he got himself deliberately sent off, but he has posted some stuff out in the public domain which isn't captain material, is it?
Yeah, I think you just took the words out of my mouth. Coming out and posting, and that is definitely not captain material. Like, if that was my teammate, it's definitely not. That's not what you want your captain to do. Like you said, there's different ways to lead. Harry Kane was England's captain. He doesn't go around shouting. He leads by example, by his performance on the pitch.
Yeah.
I had Wes Morgan as my captain at Leicester. He led by example around the building. He had commanded respect. People listened to him. Yes, he would tackle hard, but he wouldn't tackle stupidly or recklessly. And I think now with the way the game's gone, it doesn't matter who you are. Yes, you want people to tackle and get stuck in, but you've got to change your ways. Because ultimately, as the captain, you are going to let your team down. And, to now miss 4 games, Thomas Frank, Thomas Frank made a big decision by making him captain at the start of the season, hoping, made a decision hoping that would get the best out of him, after Son left. And it does seem like you just said there, or suggesting that he isn't happy and maybe he is trying to push through, but that's not the way to go about it, because other teams will look at that and think, well, do I want that in my dressing room? Wherever he goes to a new club as captain or not, but still as a player on the pitch, do I need someone that could potentially, in the middle of a game, the way the new game is, do a silly tackle and be out for, weeks and weeks? So he's got to be very careful the way he's handling himself at the moment,
Well, just to play devil's advocate a little bit, I mean, Roy Keane back in the day used to get sent off quite a bit, didn't he? And then if you look at someone like Sergio Ramos, so there's certain bits of this character that sometimes some people look up to because they fight for the team, quote unquote. Paul Scholes even came out to say the other day that it's the kind of character that he wanted at Manchester United. I don't know, would he be good there, Simo?
Right now, I would say no. Listen, Martinez has a similar style, similar way of defending. And listen, there's a way to tackle. We're not players are not stupid. Gary will say, we know when, and I think even that tackle with United on Casemiro, he wasn't a last-ditch tackle where you think, fair enough. He didn't need to do that with that force. Like, we know the risks. So look, Roy Keane, Paul Scholes, yes, I watched them, they'd get sent off, but that's when your team are probably winning 2-0. Not when you're near the bottom of the league and they were winning trophies. And that said, the game's changed. But right now, no, I certainly wouldn't want him anywhere near Man United.
Yeah, I think also, Michelle, just briefly, it's the type of offence that gets a player sent off. So if it is against Casemiro, where I think there was a genuine attempt to play the ball, slightly mistimed, and in the modern game, that's normally a red card when you make contact with an opponent in an aggressive way to that level. But when you look at the other sendings off, against Konate, it was like a little bit of a childish, petulant kick out. There was another sending off which he got against City, which was 2 yellow cards, which I feel is, again, in the modern game, acceptable, because red and yellow cards or 2 yellow cards are often shown quite easily. So I think you have to judge every incident by itself. So I'm not saying that all of his red cards have been poor to concede, but some of them have. And you need a calm head, certainly from your captain at the right time.